So hey guys, welcome back to Nerds of the Dungeons and Dragons episode campaign that I am running. This is session 3 of the campaign. When we left off where one of the players, Fat Wade Blue, found a moonstone and uh, and all that through the cave system after first going through um, this traveling campsite that when they weren't supposed to be there, and now they are at what is it? Um, they're at the beach where we left off, and they got on this boat with the ship captain, and now they're off sailing to the next part of the campaign where we're starting off from, which we'll be starting in the morning where he's going to be waking up. So without further ado, um, let's get into it because I'm going to start a little bit early, but still go to. Um, I'm going to go. So here we go. Let him know that when he's ready to start, because there's that. I need to pull out. Um, where are they? They might be in my room. Let me look. Just waiting to see when Wade Blue's gonna jump in because I'm just waiting. I have the two characters that's been in the whole campaign, Smolder and Morgana, who are brother and sister. Smolder is a druid noble, she's a knight, and Morgana, she's a squire, and she's also a fighter at level 3. And they're both in the classification of elves. She's a moon elf, and she's a regular elf, race of an elf. Delete message. Let me get myself real quick on Discord. Um, don't worry about this because I am going to enter my campaign, go to photos. You won't be able to see this on your end, but they will be able to on their end. Let me go to D&D. I need to know if that's there, which it is. I need that. I have all that. I have that stuff ready to go. I just have that picture of the captain, and that's the only thing I need to start with because, you know, muted myself, but under general. So I'm gonna pull up music for you guys while we're waiting for the campaign to start, which will be here in a bit. So I'm gonna pull up the song that was playing. That's the theme. I'm gonna play the theme, the song that's the theme for this week's D&D. Just to let you know, we have about 2 minutes till the campaign starts, so then it'll be rolling, and we'll get the ball rolling and all that. So there we go. I also will mute myself sometimes on Discord to answer questions or to say things about when I'm streaming next. So there's that. So there's that. How much further do we have on the video? A while, but I can pause that once we get there. Just on the internet so I have a better connection. Come on, connect. Yes. There you go. And then there we go. I'm just looking at my phone. There we go. I'm gonna center myself. There we go. That was it. 159. So boy. There you go. So this week's sorry, I'm gonna say this week's song theme for this session is none other than gonna be mostly my DM music I put together and anime music. So there's that. I just need so you can look up one more song. This is for when they're there we go. Let me pause this. So this is like the travel music for this campaign mission. Also, I know this is late in the video, but if you've gotten this far in the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on what you want to see happen in the campaign, or if you live in Colorado and you want to join my campaign. I'm doing the same campaign I've been streaming on Twitch in person when this one ends. Same one at the Pikes Peak Library District, the PPLD Library in Old Colorado City in Colorado Springs. So I'll give you more information in my next stream when not the next stream, on a Friday stream when this session ends. I'll give you the next one and all that. And I will not be streaming that version because that one's in person and that's going to be hard for me to figure out how to stream it. But there's that. And that will also be being played on Fridays, but I'll give you in some of my streams the updates on what's going on in that campaign, what went well, what happened, this and that, so you guys can understand what the stuff. So I need to put myself on online. So I'm just gonna put on a song for now. This is the one I actually wanted to play on this for the part of a certain part of the campaign, but I'm gonna play it now, and I have a better one I want to play when they're on this ship. While we're waiting, this is our wait music for now. We're just waiting for Wade Blue to get in. There you go, I got the song I want to play. I will also, I won't be streaming the campaign that I'll be running tomorrow with another group, but I'm going to pull him up. There you go. I have him pulled up. Sorry that that stuff is weird. I need to go fix my hotkeys on OBS real quick. Under settings, hotkeys, start recording key, start recording R, and start streaming. Switch screen, I'm gonna go so I know which button to hit. So there you go. So if there's times I need to mute my audio, then I can do that. There you go. Oh, dang it. I need to fix my hotkeys again. I'm gonna be a little bit before he gets on. Fix up audio. I'm gonna test to see if it works. I'm just testing some stuff real quick to see if the stuff works. How do you unmute desktop audio? It's the thing. Let me see. There's a hotkey for unmuting. If they do, I want to do that real quick. Unmute desktop audio. Unmute. Um, so right across from that, I'm gonna go. No. Yeah. There you go. Go to OBS and see if anything has changed. Also, shout out to all the music I'm using for my campaign. No, wondering how much longer we have till we start. Okay. I'm gonna put his name in there so he knows it's for him. Billy OBS, are you still doing this? Oh, it's because I'm hitting that. Thanks. We'll check Discord to see if you said anything. I'm gonna throw up a reaction. There you go. So 8 more minutes, so 208. 208. I think it was 208. No, when I last asked him, it was 207. So 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 13, 214, 215. 215 is when we're gonna start. So then, um, I'm gonna go to I have that up for tomorrow. Sorry, this is something I'm talking to myself. There you go. I'm just playing music for now while we wait. This is a joke that a lot of people do. I'm gonna mute this so you don't hear that. So, like I said, you can ask any question, anything about the campaign, anything while I'm live, and I'll get back to you and answer questions during the campaign, like certain parts that I can do this, or that there's parts that need to be uh, answered that I know I can answer. But that will either happen during the game. I'll mute myself on Discord and answer one of the questions and then get back to Discord, or I'll answer them at the end, and I'll go through and pick my best ones that after scrolling through for a bit that I want to answer, and I'll answer those. So make sure to leave your questions in the chat so I can go back later and during the campaign or later at the end and answer some of them because I want to interact with the audience, interact with the people who are watching. Looks like 2 viewers, but it's just myself and myself. I'm gonna close that. There you go. So I'm gonna start it right now. I'm gonna unmute it because this is a joke that I'm doing. Not a meme. It's because it's getting close to the time for D&D to start. Okay. Oh, sneak it. My pen. So now I can pause that. I can pull this up right here. There we go. Um. Uh. Um. Um. Okay. Wait, Blue, are you in the chat? Okay. Sorry, I was doing some stuff while I was waiting. So where we last left off, you finally got on to this beach, and you met with the ship captain, and you guys are on this boat, and now you guys went to your rooms and rested for the night. And as all of you, we're gonna specifically stick with your room. You are sleeping in your bed, sound asleep, and you start to hear a knock at your door, and you, because of hearing this knock, you burst out of bed, awake, and you're like shocked on what was that, and you look around the room to try to see if you can find what you're looking for, and because of looking around the room, you see that there's a folded piece of paper at the front of the door when the door in the room is closed. What would you like to do? Okay, so you read the note, and the note says, "Ah, good morning. Oh, glad to have you aboard. My name is Tim the butler. I will be at your service any time throughout this trip to where we're headed. And so, without making haste, make sure just to clean yourself up, get ready for the morning, and then wait outside the door, and I'll come and give you the next instructions on what to do for the morning." So, thanks, Tim the butler. What would you like to do at this point after reading them? Okay, so you go back to bed, and for some reason, you start to hear voices coming from outside of the room, like you hear whispers coming from outside the room, and you wake up because of hearing this, and you're not quite sure what these voices are saying. So you can I'll give you an option of either taking a chance to try and listen to the voices and see if you can hear anything, or you can just go outside the room and just have a surprise of what you're going for. What would you like to do? Okay, so you put what do you do when you're trying to listen to the voices? Okay, so you put your ear on the door and you're trying to listen to see if you pick up what you can hear, because you're trying to listen through a door. I'm gonna have you roll me a perception check. Um, uh, yeah, roll me a perception check with a d20 to see if you can hear through the door, or if you can faintly pick up whatever happens since you're trying to listen to this wooden door. Okay, so with a 13, you can't quite hear what you're trying to listen to or pick up because you're listening to a wooden door, but you can faintly hear that there is a voice coming from outside the door, and one of them sounds like the people you've been traveling with, and that um, what all you can hear is good and and good. That's all you can hear coming from the door. So what would you like to do at this point? Okay, so you open the door and you see your companions that are standing outside their rooms, standing there, and this gentleman comes up to you and he says, "Ah, good morning. Nice to meet you finally. My name is Tim the butler. I was the one who sent you this letter. Well, what I'm here to talk to you about is that you're on the SS Shallow. It's a ship that has been running for thousands of years, and thousands of years it will stay running. And without further ado, I have a message from the captain. He says, go to the end of the hall, take a right, then take a left. You'll go past some rooms. You'll see two big doors on your left. Head into those. Don't keep going straight, or you'll head into the kitchen. The last two big doors on your left before you hit the kitchen. So don't be late. The captain's waiting for you. And so, what would you like to do? Okay, so you get to the end of you meet up with your companions, and they're like, "Good morning, good morning," and you hear them saying that to you because it's morning time, and they're like, "So let's just head down this direction to the end of the hallway and see where it leads us." So after him saying that, he Smolder takes up the front, you take up the back, and Morgana decides to, for some reason, take up the middle, and just for safety, just in case if anything happens. And you guys make it to the end of the hallway, but you come to this split in the road, split not in the road, in the hallway, where one goes off to your left facing east, one goes off to your right facing west. What would you like to do where you stand? Okay, so you guys go down the west hallway this time because you were in the back with you taking up the front, Morgana still in the middle, and Smolder in the back. You guys make it to another hallway, but this time instead of it going splitting into like a left and right situation, it just goes into an L shape that goes left. You follow that, and you see that there's these down this hallway. There's these very very grandiose looking doors, like they're so nice that like they like almost are brand new, and like that the ship has some really high maintenance and really high like um cleaning and like upkeep when it comes to the way you see all these doors and these nice fancy doors. And you're going down the hallway and you see all these nice fancy doors, and you get to the area where you need to go, which is the two big doors on your left. But as you do that, you hear in the kitchen, you hear something coming from the kitchen. You hear screaming, and you hear, "Oh, mamma mia! What the? Oh my! And you just hear that coming from the kitchen, like somebody's either hurt themselves, burnt themselves, or that they're just screaming because they're just wanting to scream. And I'll leave it up to you. Do you either want to go into the doors on your left where you're supposed to be going, or do you want to go check out what this uh, situation, what's going on with this weird random googly gobbly book in the kitchen that you randomly started hearing? Okay, so you go through the doors and you all three walk into this room. It's a nice room, like so nice, like you have shag carpeting on the floor. The walls look like they're ornate, like they're made of quartz and limestone, and you see what's underneath the rug is hardwood flooring, and you see these nice, like ornate, like chairs, looks like they're covered in silk, and the tabletop looks like it's made out of granite, and you see a painting at the farthest back of the room, above this one chair that looks like it's faced backwards compared to the rest of them, and you see that it's faced backwards, and you all see this. You see that Smolder and Morgana don't know what to do. All they decide to do is go sit down in a chair. They pick one random, and they sit down to see what happens next. I'll leave it up to you to decide what you want to do when you're standing at the front of this room. What would you like to do? Okay, so you sit down in a random chair, and you see that there's a person in this chair wearing a hat, like a hat that someone would wear if they're on the ocean, traveling by boat, this and that, and you see that he's sitting there, and that then for some reason you see him get up out of the chair, turn the chair around, and he sits down. And as he's going to sit down, he sits down and he's like, "Hello, hi there, my name is Captain and Captain Laszlo, and I am glad to have you all here because I've never had anyone travel on this boat in years. This boat used to be used as a like a rich person used to own it, and the rich person sold the boat, so the person who told me to captain this ship gave me the boat and said, take very good care of it. And I have been taking very, very good care of this boat since I got the boat and all that, and that I'm glad that you all are here. Do you guys have any questions for me before I continue on speaking? Okay. Well, you hear, what is it, Smolder? He is like, well, I have a question. So, my question is that, why have you been waiting for us? Because I've never met a captain like you. Also, by the way, I put a photo of what the captain looks like on Discord for you. So you see the captain speak up after hearing that, and he's like, well, what I have you here for is that my queen, Silrock, she has known about this issue at this part of the island that she lives on with these multiple kingdoms. Something very bad has been happening for many, many years after the first War of the Gods, as everyone calls it, or the Great War. And so she has sent me to this island after the last captain who owned this boat before me has passed away, and many captains have passed away before me, waiting for somebody someday to come take on this task. And so when we get to the island we're going to, we uh, I will escort you to her kingdom, and then I'll introduce you to her and leave you with her for the rest of the remainder, so I can head out and go use this boat for other means, not collecting people for a mission like I've been doing. So that is why I have you all here. So you hear that, and he's like, does anyone else have any more questions for me before I explain something else? Do you have any other questions for him? Okay, so you hear him saying, okay, if I take this silence as nobody else has questions for me, I'm going to instead go ahead and say, while we're out here at sea, I'm allowing you to go ahead and look around the boat, go check places out. You have the bottom floor, which is all the rooms. The only places you can go are the rooms that I gave you to stay in, that has all your gear in it. You can go to the second floor, which has a bar, a little like parfait slash hors d'oeuvre trolley up there right now. The chef cooked it this morning before I woke you guys all up, and we also have live music going up on the second level, the level above us, because you're on the ground floor at the moment, and or you can go to the upper deck, which is level 1, where you can go stand on the front of the boat, go meet with guests who have been traveling with me on this boat. Yes, I do take guests with me when I'm going places, because, guests like traveling. And you can also just lounge around or just sunbathe in the sun. I'm leaving it up to you. My name is Captain Laszlo. You can call me Laz if you like, or just Captain. Doesn't matter. But I'll be around. So I'm glad to have you guys all here for this mission. If you have any other questions, you can come ask me later before we hit to the island. It's going to take us about, I'm going to say, 5 to 10 hours just to make it to the island. So even though this boat goes really fast, it still takes that long to get to the island, because where we were compared to the island is pretty far away from where I took you guys up. And so I'm going to head back up to pilot the ship. I had my partner, Harry, running the boat at the moment. He's a trainee of mine, but he still has some work. So I'm going to leave you guys to be. You can go, like I said, explore the ship and all that. So I'll see you around. Captain Laszlo out. So you see Captain Laszlo get up from his chair, push his chair in, and he walks out of the room. And now I'm going to leave it up to you what you want to do on this ship while you're waiting and you're traveling on this ship to go to this island. What would you like to do on the ship at this moment? Okay, you go in your room and you make it to your room just fine. But before you make it to your room, you see three plates for some reason as you're walking down the last hallway to get to your room, fly over your head and land right outside your doors with a note on it. And you see this happen, and you just for some reason freeze right in your tracks, like you have not seen this before, like you don't know what's going on, like this is something new. What would you like to do? Okay, so you go over to the front of your door to pick up the note, and you pick it up, and the note reads, my name is Captain Laszlo. I was glad to have a talk with you guys. about what the um, tasks that I had planned for to do when you meet my queen, and uh, so I left you this meal for your breakfast. Eat up. We have a long day ahead of us while we're traveling on C8. I don't want you guys to get seasick and throw up. This is a one of a lifetime special meal of mine. It's a crab cheese and mango uh, uh, parfait with a side of two cooked eggs and a mash and a cooked potato with butter on top of the potato to give it some flavor. So eat up. When you're done, put the plate outside the door, and the chef will take care of it. So make sure to bring the plates back to the kitchen. And welcome aboard the SS Scalawag. So that's what you read. What would you like to do now after reading the note? Okay, so are you just going to bed, or are you taking the food in the room with you? Okay, so you take the food with you, and you set the food down. What do you want to do with the food now that you're in the room? Okay, so you eat it, and you feel very refreshed, like you um, are in your room, and you have the energy to uh, go throughout the day. You don't feel tired because when you woke up, you were tired because he woke you guys up very early, and because of that, you feel like you have energy to go explore, just go do anything throughout the day as you are here on the ship. So, what would you like to do? Okay, so um, okay, so you for that, let me find this real quick. Sorry, it's gonna take me a second to get there, but I'm getting there. Okay, it's under table content server. That's come on, got it. Between adventures, ability checks, 174. Okay, got it. I'm almost there, and then I can ask you what to roll for. What was it again? 74. Okay, so I'm gonna have you I guess it checks. Let me look. Intelligence, there you go. Make an investigation when you look around the clues and make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna have you, because you want to see if there's any flaws. You're trying to look for clues on what can make this ship sink. I'm gonna have you roll a d20 with a investigation check. So roll a d20 and add your investigation to the roll. Ooh, that's actually a good thing, because you look around the room, around the ship, bottom floor where your bedroom is, and you look around the walls. You pace through every room. You don't go into the kitchen because you're a little bit unsure about going in there still after seeing the flying plates. But you see that there's holes that used to be in the ship, and that they repaired them and painted over them, and to make it blend in with the ship. But nothing major is with the ship. The only issue is if the ship were to either get damaged or scrape itself, the first thing that would go would be these holes that were repaired with random pieces of wood just thrown on the ship. And so that's what you notice while you're looking around the ship. So now, after doing that, do you have anything else you'd like to do? Okay, are you gonna just go? What do you want? Are you just gonna go back to your room, or are you gonna go explore the ship? I'll leave whatever you want to do up to you. Okay, so um, you notice you're still on the bottom floor, but you also know that because it's still morning and you have time to go explore, that the captain told you about the second floor, which is the middle of the ship, where they're having a whole bunch of stuff going on, or you have the top of the ship, which is where you can look out at the ocean, go lay in the sun, do this and that, or you can stay at the bottom floor and just check out the doors of the rooms, not bother anyone, just walk around the halls, do this and that. Where would you like to go? Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll a d20 just first, see if you can find where you're at because you're somewhere far away from the stairs. You're twisted and turned throughout these hallways in the bottom floor as you're looking for anything on the ship that you don't remember where the stairs were at because when you first got on the ship it was dark and the hallways were dark. The only thing you had were a candlelight. So I'm going to have you roll me a d20 to see if you successfully find the stairs to get up to the second level. Okay, so with a 16, you go back the way you came to your bedroom. Partially, it's just you accidentally go one wrong way and you're twisting and turning through these hallways still after going this one wrong way. And for some reason, you make it to the stairs to go up, which is on the other side of your bedroom, your room, because your room's on this other side of this hallway. You made at the end of this hallway you're at, because you can see when you're at the end of the hallway, you look down, and you see the door to your room, and you're like, in your mind, you're like, you look like all puzzled, like, how did you get here? Like, you're like so flustered and like all like weirded out how even though you took one wrong turn, which led you down multiple wrong turns, you still made it to um, uh, the stairs that you needed to get to go up to the second floor. So you go up to the second floor, and what you can see it's a big room, say a 50 by 50 room, with when you're at the entrance of the stairs. To your left, you have the bar where they're serving drinks, and you can see people talking. You can see Morgana at the bar conversing with the a bartender about something. You see in the middle there's a what looks like you could do games going on there on that left side, and then along the left wall, farthest away from you, you have the parfait and the hors d'oeuvres tables where you can go and pick those up and carry a little plate around with you of food to eat while you're on the ship. And then on the the right side, um, you can see that there's a band playing music, and you hear this music, and you are so like calmed and like so really relaxed by this music because this band is playing music that you've heard before if you've ever when you've ever traveled to different islands and different parts of the world. But the type but the version but they're playing their own version which you've not heard before, but you've heard this type of music, not their type of music. And directly dead center from where you're standing, you can see the stairs that lead up to the first level of the ship. What would you like to do after seeing all this and whatnot? What would you like to do? Okay, so you go to the bar and you pull up to the bar counter, and so you go ahead and you stand at the bar counter waiting because you see both bartenders are talking at the moment. And one bartender was done talking. He comes over to you and says, "Ah, sir, my name is Gord, the bartender. You can call me Go or Gore if you like." Uh, and so, sorry, I get quiet a lot sometimes, but I was wondering if you would like anything from the bar, like anything to drink, because I can serve you that. I can't do anything else, but would you like a drink? Okay, I'll be back. Don't leave. If you leave before you get your drink, um, you won't be able to get it back later. So you see uh, Gord walk off to the other side of the counter from where you're standing, because what it looks like you're standing on the left side of the counter, where there was barely anyone. You see him walk over to this pitcher, and you see him take a glass before he gets to the pitcher as he's on his way walking without looking, because he's on and all that. And he takes the pitcher, pours it into the um, glass, and he puts the pitcher back, and he comes over to you and says, "Here you go. Here's your drink. Enjoy. If you have any other questions, I'll be here at the bar. You can ask them now. You can ask them later. You can ask them whenever. Just know if you take the drink with you to bring the glass back to the bar. I'll be here waiting all day, all night, because I work here. This is my only job. So good luck." And you see him walk off to go help another customer. So in that matters, what would you like to do? Okay, you drink the glass of water, and you're like, this tastes like normal water. Why do I think that there is a hint of something else in here? I'm not sure. Is it my mind just playing tricks on me, or what? That's what you're saying in your head as after drinking the water, and all that. And you put the glass down. You say, and you put it down. And you see the other bartender, not George this time, come over and grabs the glass and puts it in this in this area in this basket outside of the bar counter, and all that for the cook to pick up the glasses that are in this container. And you're still there at the counter, standing there. What would you like to do? Okay, so because you know where the way to get to the first floor is and all that, you head up to the first floor of the ship, and you're standing there after coming out of this little area, and you see a railing of so you don't fall off the ship, like wooden railing, like looks new, looks nice, decorate. It looks very professionally handmade, like some high-end craftsman made it, not some low-below craftsman made it. And all you see is ocean. You see the waves crashing onto the ship. You see this and that, and you see a few people passing right by you, not looking at you. They're just walking right by you. Some look like they're on this ship alone. Some look like they're couple, like they're together. Some look like they're married. Some look like they're friends, this and that. And all you can see out of the corner of your eyes is a glimpse of the back of the ship where the captain's area is. You think that might be it, but you're not sure. And out of the right side of your eye, you think you can see the front of the ship and the lounging area where these lounge chairs are that you can pull out, set down, go lay in the sun. But you can't see anything else from where you're at. All you just see out of the corner of your eyes are these two blurry buildings that may resemble somewhat of a resemblance of what I just explained. What would you like to do? Okay, so as you're looking at the ocean, um, but before you look at the ocean, I'm going to have you explain um, uh, where do you go to look at the ocean? Okay, so because of that, you look out the um, ocean, and because of you just exploring the ship for a bit, even though your thoughts go away, you hear the horn of the ship go off, and you just see that big horn of the ship go off, and because of that, as you're looking down at the ocean, a shadow peeks out of your eye like it's like big, like it's full of like it looks like a mountains in the middle of this big thing that you see, and like you and all that, and you see that it might look like the island that the captain was taking us to. You're not sure until you get a full glimpse of this big thing that you see out of the corner of your right eye. But that's what you see after a bit of pondering at the ocean, letting your thoughts drift away. What would you like to do? Okay, so you look at what this big mountain-looking thing is, and you see, yes, yes, oh yes, it is the island you are going to. The island you are going to looks like it has a big mountain in the middle, like it's surrounded by luscious trees, like you're not that far from the island, because in your mind you're like, I swear I was only hanging with the, the captain for a bit, and I was going ahead and checking out the ship just for a short while. How did we get to the island this fast? And you're not quite sure how you got to the island this fast, but you see that it's full of trees and life, and that on certain parts the island in front of you, you can see shadows and glimpses of castles that might be kingdoms, that might be towns, that might be whatever, and all that. And so you look out after seeing this, and with a big smile and awe on your face, as you see your two crewmates, your two people traveling with you, come up the thing and say, "Hey, come on, come on! Aren't we supposed to meet the captain after landing on the island?" And all that. And so, what do you want to do? Okay, so you go with them, and at the bottom of this plank that you guys are heading down, because uh, this ship is very wealthy, but does not have very well looking ways of getting off the ship. Might be dangerous unless you're very careful at some point. But you are going ahead and are meeting with the ship captain. He's like, well, I'm leaving the ship here for a bit. I sent my biggest man, Jerusalem, to watch after the ship. He is very talented. He's also the cook on this ship as well. But without further ado, I want to take you to go meet my queen, Queen Silrock. She's dying to meet you guys. She lives in the castle, and is the queen of Lancelon, the ruler of Lancelon. She's the ruler of that area. She lives above this village that we'll be walking through. So we'll be making our way that way. But first, we got to go through a few towns on our way, starting off with Ula, which is a town that I am very well known in, that I get a lot of travelers from, but it's also a shopping town. That's why I get a lot of travelers in this town. And so, because of that, we're heading that way, and you make it to the entrance of the town, and he's like, I'll let you go. I'll be waiting at Barney's fishing chips while I let you guys go do a little bit of shopping, check out the town before we head off to the next town. So you see the captain head off after going to the entrance. I posted under maps the map of the town that you're in for you, so you can see where you're at and all that. And so you're outside the entrance where, if you look at the map, where those straight like black lines are coming. Those are like you're at the double black line, which is the gate entrance to the town, and you're right outside of the part of the town called Westgate, which is what's on the map. You also have Old Ward and Soon Wall, which is part of the town. Uh, like the captain said, you can go check out the town. You can go do a little bit of shopping, and before you meet him at the fish and chips place that you're supposed to meet him at. Um, so, um, what would you like to do now, being given freedom to go visit this town? What would you like to do? Okay, so let me look real quick. That might give me a thing that you might need to roll for. Um, so I'm gonna have you, because you're looking for the blacksmith, but you just are at the entrance of the town, and you truly can't know where it's at until you go in deeper to the town. But since you want to look for the blacksmith, I'm going to give you a chance to see if you go ahead and find it right away. If you can spot it out of nowhere by rolling me a perception check with a d20, and do this at disadvantage because you're right at the front of the town. So roll two dice, take your add your perception to both, and then take your lowest, and let me know what you get. Okay, so with a 17, you see that you are at the entrance of the um, town, still outside of the part of the town called Westgate, and um, you see a few buildings in front of you. They just look like homes and like some other types of shops. But in the distance, if you see where those two lines are, it's this weird T-shaped building on the map. You got the it's you see sparks coming from this building, like left, right, like you even see like stuff flying out of the building, like people you see that's what you see, and with all that you can either you think that it's the blacksmith, so you start heading in that direction where you see these sparks and these things flying out of the building where you think it's the blacksmith. So um what do you want to do at the meantime while you're heading in that direction? Hmm. Okay, so um you go ahead and you make it outside of this building, and indeed you do see it is the blacksmith, but you see he's very busy at work, and out front of the building, because in the back there you see that makes the rest of this C-shaped building, which is where the furnace and him doing his craft is at, and in the front area where that area is kind of blocked off with a wall, and then you go to the front, you see there's a stuff there, you can stand there, or you can ring this bell that's hanging on this little piece of wood holding up part of the building that says ring me for assistance, ring me for assistance. What would you like to do? Okay, so um, you ring the bell, ring 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 goes the bell, and you see this um, blacksmith come out of this um, back room where he was doing his work. He's like, "What do you need me for? I was doing something very important for someone, very, very important. He asked to make sure this was done today, because if it's not done today, I can't go ahead and get paid money by him, and he won't want the product." So, because he was hearing that, um, he also is like, "What are you here for?" Before I go back to what I was doing, let me know. Do you have any business at calling for me? What is it? Let me look at your. Can you hand me your sword so I can see how damaged your sword is, please? Okay, so because you're handing him your sword, I'm gonna have you to determine how damaged your sword is. Roll me a d20 and let me know what you get. Okay, so with a 6, you see that this sword can still be fixed in a day, but it has little minor cracks, has some chippage on it, and it has some dulling in the blade. He's like, well, with what I see, I get this done in a day. But if you're willing to wait maybe like an hour, maybe an hour, or depending on if I can get yours done fast, maybe 45 minutes. Just depends on how bad the sword breaks as I'm doing repairs to it. Or if you like, I have a big collection of nice swords that I sell, that I make, that you can buy from, and replace your old one. Whatever you like to do. It's up to you. What would you like to do, sir? Okay, so you go ahead and you hand him the sword. And he's like, well, now that I think of it, I can repair this sword like nothing. You hear that coming from the back there, and you're like, and in your mind, you feel a little bit like relieved, like you can get it done less than a day. And you see him getting the work. You see him working on your sword, panning it out, this and that, and you come back to your and you go to walk around the rest of the town. So you leave the shop, and he says, and all that to go get your rest of your uh, whatever you want to do done for the day before you have to meet up for with the captain so he can take you to meet his queen that he's ruled by. And so, what would you like to do now that you're uh, have more freedom to that your sword's being worked on? What would you like to do? Okay, I'm gonna roll this a 14. I'm wait, let me get something for a second, and then I'll let you know what you see around you. So I need go. Got what I needed. I'm gonna now go to the page that I need, and then roll up, see what shops are around you besides that blacksmith. Um, 15, okay. Okay, there we go. Um, um, I'm looking through this. Um, Talking of town. I got it. I just gotta figure out the page in my book that I'm looking at. So 72 for that. Okay. Way past what I was looking for. I'm almost there. Give me a sec. Dang it. Like way too far. This way. 72. 24. Almost there. Okay. Finance, patrons. Villains, allies, introduction. Um, So you look around and you see three buildings that potentially might look like um, places you can go ahead and go ahead and see at the moment that you might be able to shop in. You're not sure because you're at the blacksmith and just staying there for a bit. You just started to feel a little groggy and a little tired, but not bad. Um, but that's what you notice. Uh, but that's what you notice at the moment. The one building that the three that you see, one is on the left side of the blacksmith, the other's on the right side, and the last one's across the street from the blacksmith. Which building would you like to head into? Okay, so you head into the one across the street, and you notice that it's a 10, I think. Yep. You notice that this building is a um, that it's a residence building. You thought that it could have been a residence, that it could have been a shop because of the way it looked, but it looks like this was a shop that was turned into a living home for residents and all that. And because of that, the home looks to be very nice and kept, but it looks like it's a home of like a family of more than one person living there. Like it's very crowded. Like these people have a hard living time space from where they're at. That's what you see. Where would you like to go next? Okay, so you head that way, and and you see that this is shop, a religious shop. And what kind of religious shop is it? Let me see what it is. That's a 17. Okay. So this is a shop where you can go because you see a little wooden sign out there with a piece of wood nailed to it, and you see in big bold words on top of the shop painted in bright red says it says religious libraries on top. Um, uh, so what would you like to do after seeing that this is a library for the religious people who are focused in religion? What would you like to do? Okay, so you go back to the blacksmith, and you see that the blacksmith still working on your sword, and he comes up to you and says, I have about like maybe 10 more minutes to finish your sword, so come back in 10 minutes and I'll have your sword ready for you. Glad that you came, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have known when I would have been done. So thanks for coming. Hope to see you soon. And he puts his fist out like he wants you to do something, but in reality, he just puts it out in the air. So what would you like to do now? Okay. Um, so um, we're ending it here. But before I go, just to let you know, the next session is gonna be a little bit more in the aspect of a big fight that's gonna be going on. So be ready to deal with that. Okay. So see you in the session 4, which is in 2 Fridays from this session. See ya.